And hello, everyone, and welcome inside the broadcast booth here at Jurupa Hills' beautiful, relatively new stadium as the Jurupa Hills Spartans are getting set to take on the Lions from Riverside Arlington. And kind of a tale of two cities here. Fontana, the team from Fontana, coming in with a coach that's been here 3 years, trying to build something special at a relatively new school. A sold-out crowd last week. That was a first for this school. And then Arlington coming off a very successful season with a young team last year, new coach this year, and it'll be fun to watch these two teams go at it. I'm Cullen Holt. My broadcast partner is Tim Hatch. We'll be with you all evening long. We could not be more excited to broadcast our third game right here on the Inland Sports YouTube channel. This is Inland Empire High School football, brought to you by Inland Sports. Tim?
Hey, this is an amazing stadium, Cullen. I'm looking out at a beautiful night, looking at the mountains and seeing two excited teams ready to play. Arlington trying to find their identity, kind of. They need to learn how to win. According to Coach Roney, very young. They graduated quite a few players last year, which seems to be a story that's coming up week after week. But offensively, they put up 51 points in 2 weeks. It's little mistakes hurting them. On the other side, we have Jurupa Hills. Again, like you said, trying to establish a culture, establish an identity. And I can't wait to see what's going to happen here. Meeting between a rock and a hard place.
Going to want to miss that one as well. Well, Jurupa Hills, Arlington set to go at it. And for Jurupa Hills, head coach Citos Fernandez says he's really trying to build something at this school. School spirit is on the way. These kids outside of the classroom are starting to grow. He calls football man training, and he's been emphasizing that with his kids. And so important for a coach to understand where this whole game things fits into the rest of life.
And that's part of growing up and being a young man, learning the responsibilities, doing your job, and not overstepping your bounds, and learning how to also point out mistakes of other players in a positive way. Correcting mistakes and owning your own mistakes is the same thing as far as growing up. Same problem on the Arlington side. They've made the mistakes, but they got to own it and learn from them. It's when you have the repetitive mistakes, even in life, that causes problems.
Well, and Arlington comes into this game with an 0-2 record, trying to get their first win of the season. Jurupa Hills, they were up 16-0 at one point over Fontana in a battle for the city and ended up winning that one 16-12. And Coach said it was kind of a blessing in disguise to have Fontana come back and make it a close game, and it was a chance for him to see what his guys were made of early on. Well, Arlington going to kick this one away. They're wearing the white jerseys, of course the maroon helmets and the maroon pants. For Jurupa Hills, they're in the all-purple uniforms with the white helmets. Their offense will go right to left as they get the ball. Set to kick things off for the Lions, Zach Alexander. This is Arlington versus Jurupa Hills live on the Inland Sports YouTube channel. I'm Cullen Holt. That's Tim Hatch. And here's the kickoff from Alexander. Line drive right down the middle of the field, gets to the right hashes, and it's scooped up by Jurupa Hills with a chance to return it. Here comes Celis out to the 25-yard line, finally dragged down, and the Jurupa Hills offense will go to work, led by quarterback Zane Scarborough, a 3-year starter, a first-team All-League guy, and since Coach Marinas has been here, Scarborough has been his guy at quarterback.
Quick interesting point from the kickoff. The kicker was Zach Alexander, the adopted son of the great Kermit Alexander, former NFL great, #1 overall draft pick back in the late 60s.
So much talent here in this area. Riverside, Fontana, the entire Inland Empire. Lots of very athletic families with athletic kids come play high school football, and we get to watch them play. Spread look, 5 receivers for Jurupa Hills. They'll throw immediately. Pass completed on the right side. This is first down yardage. Out across the 35, and the Spartans with a good opening play and a good pass from Scarborough to start things off.
Arlington sitting in his own defense, cover 2. The receiver just found a little seam. Good read by the quarterback.
Out to the 39-yard line. We'll see a running back in the backfield this time. Miguel Rodriguez lining up to the right of Scarborough. 2 receivers to each side. Now the referee going to blow the whistle, telling Arlington's sideline that they got to back up a little bit. So that's a sideline warning, which means if the referee blows the whistle for that again, it could be a penalty. And late in the game, you definitely don't want to give up 10 easy yards. Now the running back motions out to become more of a wing back, and we got 5 receivers again. Ball was never snapped. There's all sorts of movement. Question is, did the white jerseys or the purple jerseys go first? And it is going to be a false start against Jurupa Hills. So a great opening play. First play, they pick up the first down. And then a 5-yard penalty on 1st and 10 from the 39-yard line. We'll have 1st and 15.
And there's still got to be a level of excitement with this beautiful new stadium. I know it's the second week playing in it, but guys, the adrenaline's flowing, blood's pumping, hearts are beating fast.
Again, 5 receivers. Nobody in the backfield with Scarborough. Now they'll motion a man across on the jet sweep. Give it to him. A little bit of room to run on the outside now for Medina. Gets out to the 40-yard line. Pick up about 5 to get back the yardage they lost on the penalty.
A nice sweep, good lead blocks. He followed his blockers, stayed in the pocket, tried to turn the corner. Number 15 helped push him out of bounds. Closed on the play really quickly. Mark Acosta from Arlington.
Out of the 41-yard line, we got 2nd and 8 now. A good job on that play of getting back the yardage they lost on the penalty. Scarborough in the shotgun, got nobody back there with him. This time they'll motion a man across. It's number 6. Gets the ball flagged down, and he's got room to run as he turns the corner. Near the first down marker, he spins out of a tackle up the far sideline across midfield. A good carry there by Spratt for Jurupa Hills for a first down. Flag down, and it is going to go an illegal motion against Jurupa Hills, and they had a guy coming across on that jet sweep, but he's got to be the only one that's moving at the time of the snap.
One at a time, that's the rule. But he showed some really quick bursts and quick feet. He broke a couple tackles, always kept his feet moving.
So now a 2nd and 14 from their own 35-yard line for Jurupa Hills. 10:43 to go in the first quarter. No score. This is the opening possession for the Spartans. 3 receivers out to the far sideline. That's to the right of Zane Scarborough. Still 2nd down. He drops back to pass. Throw out to the flats, and he's got Andre Harvey, a stud for Jurupa Hills. Gets the Spartans out across the 40 on the catch and run. And Andre Harvey is a guy that Coach Marina has pointed to immediately when I asked him, who are some of the guys that you rely on? And he pointed to Harvey, said he had a game-sealing interception in that win against Fontana. Plays both ways for this Spartan team, and really is a guy that Coach Marina looks to for leadership. And some early movement here on this play as well, going to prompt a flag. And I'm not sure if Arlington jumped first or if they were drawn off sides. And it is going to be going against the Lions, encroachment. And that brings up a 3rd and short now for the Spartans, unless that's good enough for a first down. We'll wait for the official signal. And it's going to be 3rd and inches. They're actually going to call for a measurement on a penalty. And this is the first time I've seen this.
On the last play, though, Harvey really showed he wants contact. He initiated the contact as the tackler came to get him, carried him a couple yards.
So this will either be 3rd and inches or a first down as they bring the chains out. A 5-yard penalty against the Lions for encroachment. And this looks like it's going to be a first down for Jurupa Hills. It's kind of a wacky sequence there. But the Spartans come out, and they get a first down after a couple of penalties for each team.
They get a penalty, big game for a first down on a penalty. Arlington, keep an eye on Jordy Delgado, middle linebacker, number 10, one of the team captains. He plays hard, hard-nosed player, a little undersized, but closes on the ball really quickly.
Empty set again for the Spartans. Quick throw. This time they go to Scarborough's left, and it's in and out of the hands of the intended target as he was looking to get it to Jonathan Torres out on the near sideline. And they'll bring up 2nd and 10 for the Spartans.
On that play, Harvey sets kind of an intentional screen, which is kind of unintentional, if you know what I mean. An intentional screen on the defensive back would be a penalty, but he stops his route right in front of the other guy, so it allows him to free up and get the ball.
2nd and 10 from the J Hills 49-yard line. Scarborough by himself in the backfield again. Boy, they don't use a whole lot of running backs. It's all receivers, and the motion men across as this is a give to number 11, Junior Medina. He's got the corner up the left sideline, still on his feet. 30, 20, and he stepped out of bounds. The referee says at about the 25-yard line of Arlington. Good enough for a first down and then some on the run by Junior Medina.
Medina burst out of that hole amazingly quick. It looked like they had him bottled up, and all of a sudden he squirted out quickly. Great run.
Again, empty back set for Jurupa Hills. 1st and 10 from the 34-yard line of Arlington. Quick pass for the left-handed Scarborough. Gets it out to Harvey. Gain of about 5 before he's finally brought down by a slew of Lions, including Deshaun Mercadell.
There was a whole lot of Lions there. I wonder what the collective noun for Lions is.
You know, Tim, I think it's a pride.
Okay, a pride of Lions brought him down on that play. Uh-oh.
Flag was down. It's going to go against Arlington, and another first down surrendered by this Arlington defense on penalties. And that's just a momentum killer if you're trying to put together some defensive stops, string together some good defensive plays, and you give up first downs on penalties. That's got to be a coach's worst nightmare.
Especially on the first drive of the game, you're trying to establish an identity, you're trying to establish that, you know, you can get stops and just silly penalties.
1st and 10 from the 15. 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left of Scarborough. Motions a man across. It's Harvey. They fake it to Harvey, throw over the middle, got a man wide open, and it sails over the head of Junior Medina, who was all by himself in the end zone on the left side of your radio dial.
I think that was just a misread by the quarterback. He had him wide open, and he just threw it over the top.
So Jurupa Hills now with 2nd and 10 from the 15-yard line.
Excellent execution on the Jurupa side right now. Very crisp. Routes are run right, looking good.
Trips to the right. They're going to throw left, though. Scarborough with a leaping catch made by Jonathan Torres on the left sideline, brought down in bounds. Clock ticking down to about 9 minutes to go in the first quarter. It'll be 3rd and reasonable from around the 10-yard line.
Jurupa Hills looks like they have some good speed guys on the outside. Not big guys, but some guys with some great feet.
Scarborough by himself in the backfield yet again. This will be 3rd and 4 from the 9-yard line of Arlington. 8.5 to play in quarter number 1. They'll motion a man across and give it to him. Almost brought down to the backfield. Now walking into the end zone for a touchdown. Number 11, Junior Medina, and Jurupa Hills is on the board first.
Well, Junior Medina made a great read on that play. He was heading outside, then he cut it up, shook off a couple tackles, runs very hard. Good north-south runner.
Medina with 8:27 on the clock makes it 6-0 Jurupa Hills on the jet sweep handoff. Boy, they don't go with a traditional running back in the backfield. They're always motioning someone across to run the ball, and it worked for him on that drive. A couple penalties along the way, but they got it done in the end, and we've seen this as an increasing trend in college football. You line up with an odd formation, see how the defense is going to react on a 2-point conversion. If they play it correctly, then you motion in, you kick the extra point. If they don't play it correctly, you go for 2. Jurupa Hills going to kick the extra point, and this one is up and through to make it 7-0. Jurupa Hills, Manuel Rodriguez, a captain on this team, is on the mark with 8:27 to go. 7-0 Jurupa Hills, and Arlington's offense will look to answer now as they're led by their quarterback, Isaiah Leuta.
That was a pretty impressive drive, although it was helped with those 2 penalties. They were 2 huge penalties on the Arlington side, giving up a lot of yardage, but very crisp first drive for Jurupa Hills and quarterback Zane Scarborough.
So Arlington will have a 4-man front line, and it looks like they might be missing some guys on this kick return. Very, very spread out on the kick return for Arlington High School. De La Riva is back to return. Zach Alexander is also back there. And Jurupa Hills will kick it away. Damian Lopez will give it a boot from the 40-yard line. 8:27 to go in the first quarter. Opening drive for Jurupa Hills, resulting in a touchdown. The extra point is good, and it's 7-0 Spartans right here on the Inland Sports YouTube channel.
Cullen, we have a great atmosphere. The fans are still filing in. You have a load of students down there in the corner of the end zone. A student section looking good. Just a great place to play.
Once again, the Spartans sold out this stadium for the first time in 9 years last week. A little bit of trouble on this return for Arlington. It's Ricardo Aguilar who brings it back to the 25-yard line on a short kick by Jurupa Hills. And we'll see the Lion offense for the first time tonight.
And you know, I wanted to put a little pun in there, and we're going to see how good they are. And you aren't lying, Cullen.
We got about, I don't know, 44 minutes left of this game. And I can guarantee you Tim Hatch is going to try and fit as many of those in as possible before the end of this game.
Absolutely.
Running back to the right of the quarterback, Leuta for Arlington. 3 receivers to the near side as well. 1st and 10 from their own 24-yard line. Quick give up the middle. Pickup of a couple for Arlington on their first play as an offense in this one.
One of the things we talked about with Coach Roney was that, again, as they struggle to find that identity and learn how to win, guys are trying to do too much outside of what they're supposed to do. Following their responsibilities and doing their job would make them better, and that's what guys hopefully see from the Lions.
Kevin McCullough with the carry on that last play. Brings up 2nd down now from the 29-yard line, a pickup of 5, so 2nd and reasonable for the Lions. Going to go with the option play. They give it to McCullough on the pitch, and he is brought down for a loss. Boy, lots of purple jerseys on the backfield on that play.
The Spartans are flying to the ball, make it really difficult for Arlington to get a rhythm going right now. But there was kind of a fumble on that snap also. Having a little trouble handling the ball today for the Lions.
So 3rd and 5 for Arlington. Still 3 receivers to the right of Leuta, who's a junior at quarterback. Where's number 8 for Arlington? Last year they ran the ball a lot more than they threw the ball. 2 rushing plays to start this game. Now they'll air it out. Deep pass down the left sideline, and overestimating the speed of his receiver is Leuta, trying to give it to Devin Johnson down the sideline, and an incomplete pass will be a quick 3 and out to start things off for Arlington as they'll punt it away.
He had a window there. He had the guy up the sideline. He blew by the corner for the Spartans. Leuta just put a little too much, not enough air on it. Overthrew it just a tad.
6:58 to play. Jurupa Hills up 7-0. Defense forces a 3 and out, and they'll get the ball right back. Medina back to return for Jurupa Hills. He's a 5'7" junior. Punches barely away for Arlington. Skied straight up in the air, going to land around midfield, take a hop towards the sidelines, and go out of bounds at the Jurupa Hills 40. And that's where Scarborough and the Spartan offense will go back to work.
So here we go. Again, Spartans trying to establish dominance here. If they can put together a nice drive, another blow to the Lions, who are struggling with their confidence a little bit right now. And on the flip side, for the Lions, no dumb penalties. A stop here, get 3 and out, and they're feeling pretty good about themselves.
Ball actually spotted at the 43-yard line, so 1st and 10 for the Spartans from there. Zane Scarborough put together a good drive that was a touchdown on the Spartans' first possession. So it is 7-0 Jay Hills. Now they'll go 3 receivers to the short side of the field to the right of Scarborough. We got a running back in the backfield. Now they switch the strength of the formation back around. 3 receivers to the wide side and running back to the left of Scarborough. First play of this drive, he'll drop back to pass. Still dropping back, dumps it off. This was a setup screen all the way as he got it off to Andre Harvey for a pickup of about 5.
That confusion, even with the confusion, they still got 5 yards out of it. The quarterback on a screen play, he has to allow the defense to attack him. He has to draw them in. They got a little too close for comfort there, forced him to throw it at the last second, maybe off balance.
So this will be 2nd and 5 here from the 48-yard line. A pickup of 5 on first down on the screen pass to Harvey. Again, they go empty back set. This time 3 receivers to the near side. That's the wide side of the field as the ball is on the far hash. Scarborough motion Medina across, and they'll give it to him. He tries to turn the corner on the right side, finds a little bit of a seam up to the first down and across into Arlington territory.
Medina's listed at 5'7", 165, but he runs hard. He's like hammering nails out there with the defenders being the nails. He puts his head down, goes north-south, and even at that listed size, he's causing some havoc in that Arlington defensive backfield.
They're going to spot this real close to the first down marker. Not a favorable spot for the Spartans, but they do pick up the first down by the nose of the football. So 1st and 10 now from the Arlington 47-yard line for Jurupa Hills. Not the deepest roster. Coach Marinez likes to keep his varsity roster relatively small. He's got his guys that he trusts. He uses a lot of them on both sides of the ball. And they played well against Fontana in week 1, a young team that started to really grow in the third year under Coach Marinez. And now Marinez, with some confusion on the offensive play call, is going to be forced to call a timeout. That's the second time we've seen Jurupa Hills kind of struggling with what formation they were in and where they wanted to set the strength of the formation. And Coach Marinez has to burn a timeout with 5:02 to go in the first quarter.
You hope that doesn't come back to haunt them later when they need a timeout if it's a close game. Burning one this early to set things up that are basic things that should be done in practice is very frustrating as a coach.
So Jurupa Hills will chat this one over. For Arlington, what are you saying to your guys as Jay Hills has kind of had their way offensively in the early parts of this game?
You tell your players you follow your reads. So I'm sure as they studied film, certain motions and certain movements and setups lead to certain plays. So defensively, they got to read their keys and don't get sucked in and lose their discipline. You know, like they have to still do the contains. The D-backs still have to, you know, cover their zones. And they can't get too excited and overreact. And that because the speed on the Jurupa Hills side has been pretty impressive.
From the 47-yard line, 1st and 10 for Jurupa Hills. Everyone except for 2 receivers is huddling on this play, and that's very uncharacteristic for this offense, which is coordinated by Mark Hamada for Jurupa Hills. Got the wing back to the left of Scarborough. This time they'll give it on the jet sweep to number 6, trying to get the edge near the 50-yard line. He's got room to run up the sideline. Cuts it back and is dragged down from behind inside the 25 on the carry by Jasquin Spratt. Brought down by Joseph Delgado, a guy you pointed out as a stud for Arlington early on.
Jody plays hard, and you can see he plays with some fire, but that was a great run by Spratt. He looked like he was going to be brought down about 7 yards deep, and he got outside, he bounced it, and just turned the corner and then exploded up the sideline.
1st and 10 from the 35-yard line. Got 3 receivers to the far side. That's to the right of Scarborough. And 2 receivers to the near side. This is a design quarterback draw. Try to take it up the middle. Nothing doing is getting there first was number 50 for Arlington, Malik McGill. The big fellow playing defensive end and anchoring the outside for Arlington. He came down hard on the quarterback draw, working down the line just like they teach him. He made a good catch. And speaking with Coach Marinez before this game, I asked him, what's the scouting report on Arlington? He said, one thing, they're good up front, especially on the defensive line, and that was a great example of that there. A good pickup of 3 yards, though, falling forward for that one for Scarborough, and now it's 2nd and manageable. Lefty drops back, pump fakes once, and now he sprints out of the box and up the field for a 1st down. Good play by Scarborough just to tuck it and keep it himself on the designed pass play, and this will be a 1st down inside the 15-yard line, and Jurupa Hills knocking on the door again.
He threw that pump fake. That was a great pump fake. It fooled me. I looked up the field to see where he threw it. And now with that added dimension here, with him being able to run up the gut, defensively the lines are kind of spread out, covering the corners. There's a lot of holes in there. Now they got to start worrying about that on the defensive side.
It's a very spread out offense that Jurupa Hills runs. Strength of the formation is to the left of Scarborough. They're handing it off. Medina tries a little shake and bake on the corner, trying to go off tackle. Picked up maybe a couple before being brought down.
I think with the Jurupa Hills backs, what we see is they're not going to give up too many negative plays. Everything is being run in a north-south fashion, even the sweeps. I believe I've yet to see a running back or a receiver, whatever you want to call them, brought down for a loss.
Scarborough in the shotgun by himself, 3 receivers to his right. Ball near the 10-yard line, they're going to throw. Quick pass, zipped, and incomplete. Boy, a good attempt out there for his receiver. Looking to get it to number 2 for Jurupa Hills.
Well, Arlington is in a cover 2, and there's a lot of seams. It's a zone defense, and what they're doing is Jurupa Hills is doing a nice job of finding those seams, then sitting down, just hunkering down and waiting for the ball. Just delivered a tad late, and still looking sharp though.
2 minutes 49 seconds on the clock in the first quarter. 7-0 Jurupa Hills. They'll motion Medina across and go the other way with the option. Pitch out to Harvey. Andre Harvey up the sideline, down near the 5-yard line, near the 1st down marker, maybe about a yard shy. And Jurupa Hills will have 3rd and short.
Running that option puts a defensive back one-on-one against these backs from Jurupa Hills. A guy like Harvey runs so hard, all he's got to do is make the one guy miss, and he's gone.
Under 2.5 to play here in the opening frame. And this is going to be 4th and short. And Jurupa Hills going to try the field goal. Good from similar distance for the extra point was Rodriguez. So Manuel Rodriguez with a field goal attempt. He's a right-footed kicker going from the left hash, trying to make it 10-0 Jurupa Hills. Snap and hold are both good, but Arlington might have gotten in and got a piece of it as it was shanked to the right. And Jurupa Hills unable to convert on that drive, though they were inside the red zone, and it remains 7-0. That's a sigh of relief if you're an Arlington fan.
And it's a little confidence boost for the Arlington defense because Jurupa Hills had their way with them down the field. On the flip side, Jurupa Hills can't be unhappy, even though they came away with no points out of it. They're still executing, and so it's kind of a weird situation where they both came out of it with a good result.